Hello everybody, so welcome to Learning Biology, and this episode we are going to 11.2, alright? So get your book ready and we will start right away. So first of all, okay, so 11.1 we talk a bit like what is cell division, okay? So for 11.2 the core issue is learning about the division process. 我哋會學嗰個細胞係點樣去分裂㗎啦 alright? The division process, alright? So remember, the cell division we are learning now is called the mitotic cell division, alright? 自己讀一次啦 mitotic cell division. Alright, so for mitotic cell division, it is the somatic cells. Somatic cells means the body cells, 身體嘅細胞啦 and they would carry out, 記住啦 carry out 一個嘅 mitotic cell division, alright? So there is a cycle. Here cycle, there is a name called cell cycle. So what is this cell cycle? 即係代表係乜嘢啊 It means 係 turning from a parent cell and then becoming two daughter cells. 得唔得 So this whole process from one parent cell to two daughter cells 呢一個 process 過程啦，我哋就會叫做 cell cycle 啦。Alright? Okay, so there are you have to help me put down something. Alright, put down something soon. So there are two stages. 上一堂教過啦 last lesson, stages means 階段啦 alright? So there are two stages. One of them 自己讀一次 interphase. Another name 啦，我哋會叫做 cell growth. Alright? So it takes up most of the time 嘅，你會望到啦係 90% of the time. And there is only 10% of time 咧係 really carrying out mitotic cell division. Alright? So that means 代表咗乜嘢啊？代表咗就係 interphase is very important. Alright? So in the following, I need you to learn something more. 原因係啲咩咧 The reason is, in the older version, like earlier when I was learning biology, you need to learn different parts of interphase. Different parts, or you can say stages in interphase. Alright, so let me put this down. So interphase can be divided into three stages. 可以變成咗三個階段嘅 Okay, so the first one, we called it the first growth phase. Growth 啦，即係代表係成長啦 So we call this the G1. Alright, so what does this mean? This means protein is synthesized. Protein is synthesized. 製造咗啦 is produced 啦 So let me put this down first. I want to ask you, so when protein is synthesized, what is it used for? 有啲咩用啊 Protein 會用嚟做啲咩㗎 What is the function? What is the use of protein? Alright, so try to think about this. Usually, which part of a body is made up of protein? 有啲咩部分係由 protein 組成嘅咧 So for example, okay, this is helping you brainstorm. Okay, you may not put this down, but just only if you know that. 如果你識嘅話，你就唔使寫啊 So which part of our body is made of protein? For example, our hair, our skin, our muscles. So they're basically like most part of our body. 大部分啦，其實都係 made up of protein 嘅喎。OK， 好啦，咁然後所以啦 ，what about cell？ 咁 if it makes up most part of our body， 咁對於個 cell 嚟講 ，when we are talking about a cell, so which part of the cell is made of protein? And the answer is 就係一個嘅 organelles。Organelles of cells are also made of protein 嘅 alright? So this is the first part. So that is to say 就係 first growth phase will synthesize 呢啲嘅 protein 啦。What for? 係用嚟做咩㗎 The reason is to make 一個嘅 producer 或者可以寫啦係 produce organelles of cells. Okay? Last lesson we learned what is organelles. Organelles 嘅意思係代表 like for example like mitochondria 有一個嘅 chloroplast, nucleus 呢啲全部都係 organelles. Alright? 好啦，咁又繼續咯喎 The second one we call it the synthesis phase. Synthesis 啊，啱啱你都自己學咗呢隻字啦 Synthesis phase. So what is this synthesis phase? 呢個 that means DNA replication. Very easy. That means DNA is doubled. 雙倍咗啦 duplicated 啦 The third one, of course, 因為上邊 because you can see that there is a first growth phase, there will also be a second growth phase. Okay, and this is so-called the G2. Someone also say this synthesis phase is S phase 啦。OK， 自己寫低啊。OK， so what is second growth phase? So this is simply 相對比較簡單少少啦 ，simpler。Alright， this is cell growth in size。Alright， 好啦 ，so that means within this 90% of the cell cycle, this interphase, 其實 actually there are three processes happening, three phases happening， 有三個過程發生緊嘅。First growth phase, synthesis phase 同埋呢個 second growth phase， 得唔得 ？And each of them have different functions, different purpose， 有唔同嘅目的嘅，得唔得 ？OK， 好，冇問題嘅話咧 ，let's go on to look at the book。OK， 好啦，今日我哋望一望啦喎。So talking about the interface， 你會見到啦。OK， so it's mainly for it to carry out 一個嘅 function 嘅。So what are the functions? We're going to talk about them here， 得唔得？會有少少相似嘅 ，alright？ They are quite similar. Alright, so they will carry out these activities, the following activities, to prepare for the cell division. 去準備定啦 ，they prepare for the cell division. Alright, so this one, they synthesize proteins 啦，啱同你講咗啦 ，they synthesize proteins, and in order to 目的係咩啊 ？In order to that means to, alright， 去目的 to what is the purpose? Okay, so in order to produce new organelles, okay, of the cells. 例如啦 ，for example 啱同你講咗啦 ，mitochondria、endoplasmic reticulum 啦，自己讀一讀啦 ，endoplasmic reticulum 就即係特別 ER 啦 ，and chloroplast 啦，得唔得 ？Okay, so this is which phase is it? So this is the G1. Okay, this is the G1. And then it grows to its maximum size 啦，即係 grow in size 啦，呢個就係 G2 啦。Alright, this is G2. And then the last one is of course the S phase. Alright, so it is that the DNA will carry out replication， 佢會去複製自己啦，得唔得 ？So each chromosome will be duplicated 啦，然後就會有 two identical 嘅 DNA molecules 啦，有兩個 identical 嘅 DNA molecules 啦。Okay, so that means 聽聽啦喎。So before 聽先 ，so just listen first. Before the interphase, right? Before, so just right before the cell division, it should be like this. 或者應該講係 before the synthesis stage, before the synthesis phase, it should be like this. Okay, so this is a chromosome. 呢一條 this thing, this number 8係一個 chromosome. Okay, so this is before the interphase. No problem. 好啦 and then this one is after the interphase. This one on the right is after the synthesis phase. Okay? Hold on, just to make sure you know this, because this means DNA is replicated, duplicated. Chromosome 已經複製咗㗎啦, they are duplicated, and then now this you can see it is two identical sets of DNA molecules. 得唔得? Okay? 好啦 the last thing about this diagram 最後一樣嘢想同一堂你講嘅 Okay, so look at this diagram here. How many chromosomes can you see? The answer 我啱同你講咗啦 the answer is one chromosome. 好啦 and then look at the graph here. This whole thing. How many chromosomes are here? The answer is also one chromosome. 都係一個 chromosome 嚟嘅，得唔得？搞清楚啊 Alright? 好 if there is no question, let's move on. 好啦，咁然後 the next thing we're going to talk about 就會係呢個 really 啦 mitotic cell division 啦 Okay, the 10% of the cell cycle 啦，得唔得 Okay, but before talking about that 我哋去學一學啦一個嘅 cell cycle of different cells Okay, so even though they are all body cells 全部都係一個 body cell 啦，都係 somatic cells 啦，但係咯 each type of cell will have a different duration. The duration 啦 of a cell cycle 啦係 different 嘅 they are varies Okay, they vary Duration 即係代表嗰個時間啊，需時幾長啊 Alright? So for example, the skin cell. So for example, 你會成日拗老嚟啦 you go to bath often and you will scrub some dead skin cells off very easily, right? So they replace quite quickly，佢比較快嘅 2 weeks。Alright, but then look at this one. Liver cell, it takes a very long time. Okay, 300 to 500 days normally 啦。OK， 呢一隻字啦，學一學嘅，指到一次 neurons 係神經細胞。So they do not complete the cell cycle. So that means they cannot be repaired. OK， 自己寫啊，佢哋唔能夠 be repaired， 唔能夠 be 修復啦，得唔得 ？Cannot be repaired. Okay, and then the last one, the intestinal cells also very quick， 得唔得？好啦，咁然後啦 ，look at the paragraphs on the right， 佢同你講咗啦 ，skin cell intestinal 啦，即係代表你小腸啦，有一個 epithelial cell 表皮細胞啦，其實佢都係 redivide quite frequently 嘅，得唔得？好啦，但係 liver cell 啦 ，normally 正常嚟講啦，係一個 very low rate 嘅 ，replace 得好慢嘅。但係啦 ，when it is damaged， 佢就會 divide more rapidly 嘅。OK，so there may be a change of 一個 duration 啦，of 呢個 cell cycle 嘅，可能會改變嘅，得唔得？好啦 ，the last one neurons 啦，就唔會 complete 嘅 cell cycle 噶啦，即係代表就係 they do not divide， 佢哋唔會再 carry out cell division。That's why it cannot be recovered， 唔能夠修復到啦，得唔得 ？Okay, no question. Let's move on. 下一樣嘢啦，我哋就會講到咯 ，mitotic cell division。好啦 ，that means one parent cell 啦 divide into 2 daughter cells。而且啦 ，moreover these daughter cells 其實係要學知呢樣嘢啊 ，they are identical to， 得唔得？我哋識埋呢個 identical to 嘅 ，they are identical to the parent cell， 得唔得 ？Okay, and then inside the mitotic cell division there are 2 divisions， 總共係有2個 division。One of them is called nuclear division, another one is called cytoplasmic division. Alright, so what does it mean by nuclear division? Nuclear 呢隻字你覺得似啲 which organelle do you think it is similar? 邊一種嘅 organelle 呢？答案就係 nucleus 啦。So this is the first part is called the nuclear division, talking about the nucleus was separate into 2， 得唔得 ？nucleus 啦變咗 separate into 2 first。好啦 ，another one very easy 啦 ，cytoplasmic division 即係代表 the cytoplasm is also divided into 2。OK， 好，冇問題嘅 ，let's go on。好啦 ，first of all we're going to talk about the nuclear division 先啦，睇一睇個 paragraph 先。Later the next page will need you to recite something, alright？ 好啦，咁然後咯，你就會望到啦 ，nuclear division 啦，簡單嚟講 ，another name is called mitosis， 自己嗰度啦 ，mitosis。咁簡單嚟講就係the mitotic cell division，another name of mitotic cell division 啦，其實都會叫 mitosis 嘅，得唔得？咁即係咁 ，the more important 嘅 division process 啦，其實係呢個 nuclear division， 而唔係呢個 cytoplasmic division， 得唔得？總體上你陣間會明㗎啦 ，you will understand it very soon， 得唔得？好啦 ，so what will happen？ 其實發生嘅就係 ，so it will be something will happen 就係呢個 separation 啦 of 呢個 sister chromatids。Okay, just in case you forgot already, so sister chromatids is this case. Okay, so this one A and this one B. So this A and B separate 呢兩條橫線啦 ，these two are sister chromatids， 得唔得？佢兩個啲 are the same， 得唔得？啲係 identical 嘅。Alright， 好啦，咁你會望到啦 ，separation of 嘅 sister chromatids 啦，同埋係會有 equal distribution 嘅 of 一個嘅 separated chromatids。Alright， 即係簡單嚟講就係 because remember two daughter cells are the same are identical to their parent cell 嘛，咁即係 when they separate， 佢哋當然出到嚟啦 ，the outcome 係 also the same 嘅，所以佢哋嘅 distribution 佢哋個分佈啦，亦都會係 the same equal 嘅。OK。好啦 ，two daughter cell 係會 the same 啊。嗱，呢度可能要少少時間撈一撈嘅 ，OK？ 唔緊要，自己停一停睇一睇啦。好啦 ，and then the next thing is that these 4 stages, so we will talk about them in detail in next page。但係自己讀一讀先，第一個 prophase， 第二個 metaphase， 第三個 anaphase， 第四個 telophase。Alright， 好啦 ，so these 4 phases, so how do you help yourself remember？ 永遠都係啦，學一學個方法點樣幫自己 ，how do you help yourself remember？ So just put this down, PM me at, alright, so in case you want to find me, so you can PM me at this number. So why did I give you this sentence? As you can see, PMAT. Okay, these four letters. Okay, so if you remember this sentence, you'll find out P stands for prophase, M 死咗讀多次啦 say once again after me, alright? Metaphase, A anaphase, and then T telophase. Alright? So this is how I remember this mitosis. 好啦 and then the next part 最尾一部分啦 this is not very important but it may also be tested 嘅，咁就會講呢個 cytoplasmic division another name 自己度讀啦，我哋會叫做 cytokinesis， 自己讀一次 cytokinesis。 Alright, so at the end of mitosis this cytokinesis will take place 會發生啦，咁啦 so the cell will no longer be joining together 佢哋就會真係 divide into two equal halves 啦，得唔得？ and then they form two daughter cells. Okay, so that's all about this page, and then in the following page we're going to look into the details of these PMAT. Okay? 好啦，嚟啦喎。So before the mitotic cell division, that means the interphase 啦，我哋會講啲 interphase 先。So remember interphase three phases 入邊啦，有三個過程入邊嘅 first growth phase、synthesis phase 同埋 second growth phase. Alright, 咁入邊會有幾樣嘢做到啦。Something will happen, so somehow you need to remember that. Alright, first growth phase 用嚟做啲咩㗎？ So you synthesize the proteins to make the organelles 啦。in 第二個啦 synthesis phase 就會係 DNA 嘅 replication 啦 duplicated 啦。第三個就係 grow to 佢嘅 maximum size 啦，係咪啊？ Alright, so remember since it is not yet cell division 所以仍然咧 chromosome 係 not visible 嘅。 what you can see is still 係一個 chromatin 嚟嘅 chromatin. Okay, so also you need to develop the skill to look at this graph. Okay, 要開始學習去睇呢個 graph 㗎啦。Alright, and then we'll start the mitosis. We'll carry out the mitosis. The first one 我哋會叫做 prophase. Pro 嘅意思 you also need to learn this 啦。Pro 嘅意思通常代表係 earlier。Similar to pre 嘅，即係好似 pre 咁樣 ，pre something prepare。Pro 亦都可以解之前咁嘅意思啦。Alright, earlier 嘅意思啦。Okay, so when we talk about prophase，咁佢首先啦，佢哋會 shorten and then thicken。Therefore 啦就會變成咗 visible 啦。然後 gradually 咧，你個 nuclear membrane。So remember，OK， 少少嘢提一提你啦，呢度寫翻低啦。So nucleus is 係 one organelle 啦。with 咩啊？我哋會講過嘅 with double membrane。OK， 佢有 two membranes 嘅。咁 what else have two membranes 啊？另外兩個會有 two membranes 嘅。The first one 就係 mitochondria 啦 ，and the other one would be the chloroplast。Okay, so these two also have double membrane. Okay, 好啦 Okay, so the nuclear membrane gradually breaks down， 佢慢慢會分解咗啦。And then you can see that it's no longer here. Okay, 睇唔到㗎啦。And then metaphase 嗰度啦，你就會 see the chromosome 係會 line up 嘅喎，而且咧 in this line in the centre 中間呢條線有一個名嘅，我哋會叫做 equator， 指咗一次 equator。咁 equator 啦，佢中文亦都會有就 just like the equator of the earth， 得唔得？係嗰個赤道嗰度啦 ，equator 亦都係計赤道啦。Okay, so this cell is just like the earth， 好似一個地球咁樣啦。Okay, so they line up in the middle， 咁我哋就會叫做 equator 啦。然後啦 as you can see, there is some very thin line， 有啲係好幼嘅繩係黐住呢個嘅 chromosome 嘅 ，alright, attached to chromosome。而一啲 very thin line 咧，我哋就會叫做 spindle fiber。指到一次 spindle fiber，OK， 佢會係一啲繩係會 attach to the chromosome。So what will happen next? As you can see 係一個 anaphase，OK， 咁有少少嘢可以幫你自己記嘅 ，something to help you remember。So Anna， so if you still remember this girl name Anna， 幾時出現過啊 ？So it is like an let me see, sorry, anabolism and catabolism. So when we talk about anabolism, Anna is the good person, alright? Anna is the good person. So it is like combining things together, right? She joined things together. Okay, but now remember, okay, so when we talk about the cell division, Anna is getting angry. Okay, maybe 啦，可能變得唔開心啦。Okay, so now she separates. 佢今次嘅角色就係 she separates the sister chromatids. This time she separates the sister chromatids. Alright, so this Anna and that Anna is different. 得唔得 ？Okay, so please if you think it is useful, then put it down first. Okay, 好啦，今日繼續講啦喎 ，anaphase。咁你望到啦 ，the spindle fiber 會 contract 嘅，佢會收緊咗佢啦。Therefore, the sister chromatids，咁我哋中間 in the middle 啦 ，there is a line separating the chromosome 咁樣啦，直接the sister chromatids 就會 separate 啦，然後就 move to the opposite poles。咩意思啊 ？Poles 我哋講南北極 ，the North Pole and South Pole，right？ So they now move to the North Pole and South Pole. They move to the opposite poles. 得唔得？係相反嘅一個極地嗰個位啦。Okay? And the cytoplasm also gradually 啦，慢慢去 divide 啦，得唔得 ？Okay? And then the last one 最尾啦 ，AT 個 T 字啦 ，telophase。咁你會望到啦 ，new nuclear membrane 係 form 咗啦，係 around 呢啲嘅 new 呢一個嘅 chromosome 啦，而且啦呢個 chromosome 係會 uncoil 嘅。So after the uncoil, they will form chromatin again. Okay? 嗱，好快咁樣 go through them once again. So this one is the prophase，啱啱講咗啦，係個 P 字啦。So prophase very easy. You prepare for cell division. Okay? So how do you prepare for cell division？ 第一樣嘢，你 chromosome 會 thick，會係一個嘅 shorten，所以就會 visible 啦。同埋啦，外邊 outside there is a membrane blocking you， 阻鬼住晒，所以啦，your nuclear membrane 會慢慢去 break down for you to carry out this cell division。好啦，第二個咯 M metaphase。When we talk about metaphase， OK， 咁由啦 ，they line up on the equator 或者 in the middle of the cell 啦，佢喺個中間嘅赤道度等一等啦。OK，and then you can see there are some thin lines attached to 呢個 chromosome 啦。呢啲嘅 thin line 就會叫做 spindle fiber， 得唔得？比較難望嘅，但係你唔望到就係、你會望到 which you can see in the diagram 啊，就係 you can see that they are line up in the middle of the cell， 佢哋會 line up 咗喺個 equator 度嘅，得唔得？好啦 ，and then the anaphase， 然後就講 Anna 啦。今次 Anna is a negative character， 唔係好開心嘅。你會見到啦 ，sister chromatids 啦就會 go to the opposite pole 啦，去就係兩邊嗰度啦。然後佢另外 another information 就係會同你講呢一個嘅 cytoplasm 慢慢去 divide 緊啦。So of course you cannot really see the cytoplasm clearly， 但係啦 what you can see 就係 they move to the opposite poles， 分開咗 two groups already 啦，得唔得 ？They're separated into two groups。好啦，最尾啦 telophase T 嗰度啦 ，that means okay so mitosis is nearly finished， 已經準備去完成啦喎。Therefore the nuclear membrane is formed again， 得唔得？就 around 一個 group of chromosome 啦。最尾啦，你會望到啦。After they form the nuclear membrane, so the chromosome inside 就會發生咩事啊 ？They will uncoil and they form back to 呢個 chromatin 㗎啦。咁慢慢啦就會 change from visible 啦 to not visible 㗎啦，得唔得 ？OK。好啦，咁由啦 the last part 最尾一部分啦，我哋就會講到呢一個嘅 cytoplasmic division， 自己讀到啦 cytoplasmic division， 亦都 another name 咧就叫 cytokinesis。好啦，when we talk about the animal cell， 咁 animal cell 當然相對地 relatively easy 啦。原因係點樣啊 ？We need to use this word，OK？ 唔好用另外一啲字啦。For example，if you use contract，if you use contract，the answer is wrong，OK？Wrong。If you use move inwards， OK？ Also not acceptable。So we need to use this word， 自己讀到啦 ，constrict，而且係點啊？係 constrict inwards。Alright, so you need to learn to use this kind of words. 好啦 and then cell membrane 咧會 constrict inwards， 從而啦，they will form two new cells, two new daughter cells. 好啦 and then for plant cell 咧就會有少少分別嘅 ，there is some difference。你會 form 咗一個 new cell plate， 呢一塊嘢啦 ，this thing is called a cell plate， 得唔得 ？So of course it's formed by 呢一個嘅 cell membrane 啦，同埋 cell wall 啦。咁然後啦，佢會 form 咗出嚟嘅 cell plate is formed。然後咧，佢會 keep on growing outwards 嘅，係有啲分別啦。So this time is not constrict inwards, it's growing outwards 啦。然後就會 divide the cell into two。 得唔得 ？So that's all. Okay, and then let's look at the bottom part，睇睇下邊嗰部分啦。然後啦，我哋就會講到 karyotype。我之前讀咗呢隻字㗎啦。So karyotype is just a photomicrograph, okay, showing 呢個嘅 chromosomes 係全部嘅 all the chromosome 啦 in one cell， 係 one cell 得唔得？係一粒細胞入邊 in one cell 啦 ，how many chromosomes are there? Okay， 咁 of course in human 嘅話 you can see 23 pairs 啦，23對啦 ，that means 46啦，得唔得 ？OK， 咁然後咯喎，好啦，然後 so what will happen? So how do I create 一個 karyotype 咧？純粹俾你知嘅啫。So scientists obtain 啦，去獲取咗啦 ，obtain 呢啲字要識㗎啦，獲得咗啦一個 sample from 一個 person 啦，然後啦佢會 stimulate 呢隻字都要識㗎啦 ，stimulate 係解刺激 ，OK？They stimulate the cell 啦 to undergo mitotic cell division，OK？So when they undergo mitotic cell division，what will happen？ 咁當然啦就會係 they will become thicker and 一個 shorter 啦，所以就會 visible 啦。係咪啊？就變咗呢一個 stage 咁樣啦，而且啦佢會 stop 咗 at 一個 metaphase 嘅，佢喺 metaphase 嗰度停低嘅，得唔得？Sorry 。So what is actually metaphase? So they are lining up here， 得唔得？佢哋未分開咗，they are not yet divided into separate 嘅 chromosomes 嘅，佢哋未分開嘅。So they are just lining up in the middle, on the equator， 得唔得？So and then 當佢 stop 咗喺個 metaphase 嗰度啦 ，they will cut out 一個嘅 image 啦，記住啦，呢一個 image 係 cut out 咗啦，然後 they arrange themselves 嘅，係啦，佢哋會 arrange 為呢個 scientist 噶啦，佢唔係個 chromosome arrange themselves 嘅，得唔得？係 scientist arrange 佢哋啦，according to 佢哋嘅 size 同埋佢哋嘅 shape 啦 ，alright， 好。No problem 嘅話咧，我哋就睇睇後邊啦。嗱，當然啦，I will skip some parts, alright? Because I don't want the video to be too long, okay? I will cover that part in class, okay? So again, I won't be using a lot of time in class to discuss with you about concepts again, okay? So make sure you try your best to understand the knowledge in the videos. 得唔得？好啦 so this part I will not talk about this. Alright? So instead I'm going to talk about this practical. 好啦，今次啦，再睇一睇咯。So what are we going to investigate？ 我哋去睇啲乜嘢咧？我哋要去睇就係 the relative time spent in each stage of 呢個 cell cycle. So how do I know the relative time spent？ 記住啦 ，relative 係解相對嘅，得唔得？So how do I know the time spent in each stage of your cell cycle？ 即係代表係 interface 會 take up how many percent of the time 啊？入邊嘅 ATME，OK？ 咁呢4個 phases 又用咗幾多個 how much time is used 嘅咧 ？OK？ 咁我哋 so we are now trying to find out that time needed，alright？ 好啦，咁由自己睇睇呢段咯，我哋就會講啦 ，the relative time 我哋 spends 啦就會 can be estimated， 即係代表係預計嘅。推算到出嚟嘅，得唔得 ？By 咩啊 ？By the proportion of cells at that stage。OK， so remember，OK，so proportion 係解個比例啦。OK，proportion of cells in that stage， 即係個意思就係 so if we are not talking about one cell， 當我哋唔係講 one cell only， 而 if I'm going to look at 100 cells of our skin。OK，so I cut part of the skin， 我掹咗你塊皮膚落嚟啦 ，and then I look at 100 cells of that skin。Okay, and then these cells, they may be carrying out 一個嘅 different stages of 一個嘅 cell division 啊嘛，係咪啊 ？They are at different stages of cell division。而 by looking at the proportion 佢哋嘅比例啦 of the cell in that stage， 我就能夠去 estimate 到 ，OK，I can estimate 到 how long does it take for the cell to carry out that type of 或者 that stage 啦，嗰個階段啦。嘅一個 division 啦 ，OK， 去諗一諗咯，而家試一試啦。例如啦 ，OK，so I have 100 cells. If I see 50 cells， I'll try and type it. Okay, so now I have 100 cells. I'm looking at 100 cells, and then I see 50 cells are showing chromatin. And then 10 cells. 求其啦 10, 10, 20, 10. Okay, so this is P, prophase, and then M, what is M? Metaphase, and then A, anaphase, T, telophase. Okay, so if this is what I see for the 100 cells, 如果呢一個情況就係我望到嘅50 cells at different stages 啦 ，right? OK， 我望到嘅。So can you tell me which one takes the longest time？ 邊個會攞最長嘅時間啊 ？The answer would be the first one, 50 cells, showing chromatin. Showing chromatin 即係代表咩 phase 啊 ？Interphase. OK, interphase. Why? Because I can tell this. 我能夠 estimate 到原因係啲咩啊 ？Because they are staying at that stage for the longest time. 佢哋係停留咗喺嗰個階段 for the longest time. Therefore， 所以最尾啦 ，therefore that stage takes the longest time to complete. 嗱 ，the most important thing is that you understand the concept， 得唔得？最緊要明白個概念啊，得唔得？所以啦，我就話啦，I saw 50 cells are carrying out interphase. That means the first one 就係佢哋 staying at the stage at that interphase 啦，係 staying the longest 嘅，佢停留得最耐啦。原因係啲咩啊 ？Because 我就可能 I think that the stage 係 takes the longest time to complete 啊，用咗最長時間先能夠完成嘅，得唔得？所以啦，我哋就會知道個 relative time span 就相對地應該比較長啦 ，is longer， 得唔得？ Okay, so why do I need to teach you this? Because again, there is some maths you need to calculate. 得唔得？好啦，咁我哋就會講啦。Earlier I taught you guys field of view 咯。Field of view 係一隻字嚟嘅 one phrase, right？ 咁我哋會 look at one suitable field of view。咁大概啦 ，showing about 30 cells 啦 ，not 100 cells this time。然後啦，我哋就會 count 同埋 record the number of your cells at different stage 嘅，得唔得？ So we are looking at numerous cells， 一對 cell 啦 ，and then we are going to count and record the number of cells at different stages， 得唔得？好啦，然後啦，我哋就會講咯喎。Okay, since we know that we are doing the onion root tip cells， 即係代表係佢哋嗰個根嘅最釘最端嘅位啦。So it takes about 16 hours. This is something we know. Okay， 即係960分鐘啦。So to complete a cell cycle， 所以啦 ，the next thing I need to do 就係去 calculate your relative time spans。咁我點樣去 calculate 啊？當然啦，就係 by your number of cells in that stage。即係舉例講啦 ，for example 就會係50啦 ，and then over 幾多 ？the total number of cells in that field of view。總共有幾多個細胞啊 ？How many cells in total？ 除翻100啦 ，and then times 翻，乘翻幾多啊 ？times 翻960啦。Okay? Or if it is 960, the answer would be the minutes 啦，係咪啊？但係 if in other case 就係50除翻100啦 ，and then times 16, what is the unit？ 佢單位應該係啲咩啊 ？The unit is hour 啦，得唔得 ？Okay? So make sure you understand this. Okay, the very last part. This is also the last page of this 11.2. So please stay with me. 好啦，咁然後啦 ，so this is quite basic. Okay, so I'll go through this part very quickly. So again, we're going to talk about the importance 個重要性啦。咁然後啦 ，so first of all， 我哋會知道啦 ，daughter cells 係 genetically identical 嘅。我哋講過啦，係 identical to 佢哋嘅 parent cell 啦。So they are the same as the parent cell. OK， 咁包括佢哋有 same 嘅 structure 啦 ，same 嘅 function 啦。所以啦 ，so why is it so important？ 第一樣嘢啦，就係 for your growth and repair。成日啦 ，always we always say that it is growth and repair。OK， 咁然後啦，咁點解會講 growth and repair 啊？原因就係 we need new cells。咁 again，so think like at first we are a baby and now we are adolescents。咁即係我哋由一個 BB 變咗做一個青少年啦。其實we need more new cells so that we will grow in size 係咪啊？我哋會大粒咗啦，係咪啊？所以啦，in other cases 同人講啦 ，a child into an adult 啦，其實都會係一個嘅 need new cells 嘅 for your growth 啦，得唔得？需要一個新嘅細胞啦。And then the next thing for repair repair 即係代表係 replace 啦，去替代啦 ，repair 係修復 ，alright。咁你之前 earlier 啦，you learn another word，我哋就會叫做 recover 啦，recover 就係亦都係康復啊、修復嘅意思啦，alright。好啦。So what is the function？ 目的就係 replace 一啲嘅 worn out cells， 一啲嘅爛咗嘅細胞啦 ，OK， 或者係一啲嘅退化咗唔愛嘅細胞啦，得唔得？咁當然啦，去 worn out cells 啊，或者一啲嘅 damage 咗嘅 tissue 呢啲係計組織啊，得唔得 ？OK，for example 啦，例如啦，我哋會 replace 一啲嘅 dead skin cells 啦。Again, when we are bathing, we may scrub off some of the dead skin cells， 得唔得？而 the new skin cell where does it come from？ 當然就會係 by 呢一個嘅 mitotic cell division 啦，of 我哋嘅 new of 呢個 skin cells 啊，得唔得 ？Okay, so these two are very normal, growth and repair. 最尾一樣嘢啦 ，this is also very important, and we are going to learn this in detail in chapter 12. 下一課我哋會詳細咁講嘅 ，and this is a crazy chapter for you, especially. 得唔得？好啦 ，asexual reproduction 指到度 asexual 即代表係唔no sexual 啦，得唔得 ？no sex 嘅無性繁殖啦，冇 sex 嘅，得唔得 ？OK，so we can some of the organism 啦，包括係 including 一啲嘅 plants 啦，或者係一啲嘅 very simple 嘅 organism，very simple 嘅 organism 啦。例如 for example 啦，我哋會講呢啲係 unicellular 嘅 organism 啦。OK，unicellular that means one cell 嘅，made up of one cell only 嘅啫，得唔得 ？For example 啦，佢就俾咗你啦，就 amoeba 啦，指多一次啦 ，amoeba。OK，亞米巴變形蟲啦，some unicellular 嘅 organism 啦，或者係呢個 plants 都會 produce offspring by 一個嘅 mitotic cell division 嘅，得唔得 ？Of course，佢哋會 genetically the same 啦，但係啦，一個嘅 importance，especially about the plants 咧，we will discuss about that in chapter 12，得唔得？喺12課度再講啦。OK， 好啦，最尾一樣嘢啦 ，OK， 真係最尾啦。So we are going to talk about this STSE. So again, just to emphasize, STSE are very important. 唔好見到綠色 ，don't skip this section when you see green things. Alright, these are always the background of your questions. 通常都會係你考題目嘅一個背景嚟嘅，得唔得？好啦 ，so we will talk about the cell cycle in cancer， 得唔得？ So cell normally they will divide in 一個 control way 啦，咁你可能會聽過啦。咁癌症係咩嚟㗎 ？So what is cancer？ So cancer 就代表就係當個 DNA 啦係 damage 咗 in your cells，OK？DNA 通常啦就會係 maintain 一個 orderly event。orderly 嘅意思係即係代表有規則、有規律嘅，得唔得 ？So when DNA is damaged， 當個 DNA is damaged 啦，佢哋會 divide rapidly 同埋 endlessly。簡單嚟講就係 uncontrolled 嘅 division of 呢一個嘅 cell。當 when the cell is dividing uncontrollably， 當佢係唔能夠控制自己咁樣去 divide 嗰陣時咧，一個 uncontrolled 嘅 cell division 啦，我哋就會叫做都要 result in 一個 mass。again mass 呢隻字啦係 a bunch of 咁嘅意思啦，係好多啦，一堆啦。A bunch of 呢一個 abnormal cell 啦，從而啦就會形成咗一個 tumor。tumor 中文 as you can see 係一個腫瘤嚟嘅。So not all tumors， 最尾輕輕講一講嘅啫。Not all tumors are cancer， 唔一定全部都叫 cancer 嘅。OK， 如果 if it breaks off，OK，and spread to other parts， 即係代表佢會係一個惡性嘅腫瘤啦。OK，so if it's a bad tumor，OK，佢會 spread to other parts of the body 嘅話咧，佢先會叫做一個 cancer 嘅。OK，bad tumor is called cancer，good tumor 唔會叫 cancer 嘅，得唔得？Okay, so that's all about this 11.2. Again, so I want you to finish this part yourself, and we're going to discuss that in class. Okay? The last message, 最後一個信息啦。So for this 11.2, I have one part which I need you to carry out dictation. You need to do dictation. So that is, as you can guess, okay, must be this page 啦。成版 the whole page from 一個嘅 interface to 一個嘅 telophase。Okay, I will need you to do dictation. Okay, so after you watch this video, please bear that in mind and start revising. That's all. Thank you and goodbye.